Hi, boys and girls. So today's gospel lesson is...
I object. That's it.
Well, hello there.
Did you hear what that person just said?
Well, actually, that's what I'm going to talk with everyone about.
Well, hello there. I'm glad you're going to hear this.
Hear what?
That I am sick and tired of sheep being badmouthed in church.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? What do I mean?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about sheep being badmouthed.
Well, where do I start?
Well, what was bad about today?
And he had compassion on them because they were confused and helpless like sheep without a shepherd.
Well...
Did you know that sheep can see in almost 360 degrees?
No.
Did you know that sheep can remember other sheep and people for years?
Well...
Did you?
Well, not really, but Jesus sure did.
What?
Jesus talked about shepherds and sheep a lot.
Tell me about it.
In fact, Jesus talked about how sheep would recognize their shepherd's voice. In the book of John, Jesus tells us he is the good shepherd, and we are his sheep in that I know my own sheep and they know me.
Okay, maybe he knew something about sheep. Why is he always talking about us?
Well, a lot of people in Jesus' day were familiar with the work shepherds did. So, a lot of times, Jesus would use examples people could relate to help them understand the story. That same time Jesus said he was the good shepherd, he also said, I have other sheep too that are not in this sheepfold. I must bring them also.
What does that have to do with sheep being confused and helpless?
He isn't saying that sheep are confused and helpless, but that sheep without a shepherd are. The people he is talking about, they don't know Jesus is the Messiah or the Son of God. They have teachers that are telling them the wrong thing. So, Jesus says that is like a harvest in need of workers.
Wait a minute. I thought we were talking about sheep.
Hang on a minute, we are. Do you remember last week when we heard about Jesus telling his disciples to go and make disciples of all nations? It's the same thing here. Jesus wants us to bring more people into his flock, but he needs laborers or workers to tell people about him so they believe. So if you're a farmer and your harvest is ready, but you don't have any workers or laborers to pick and gather fruits and vegetables, you're not going to have a very successful harvest, are you?
I'm sorry. I really don't know many things about harvesting. So please stick to sheep.
And that's why Jesus would use different analogies and examples to teach his disciples and to teach us. Because sometimes I might understand different stories or different examples better than other ones. So you probably know more about sheep than I do.
Probably. So people aren't always insulting me when they talk about those things?
No, of course not. It was just Jesus' way of explaining things in a way that people would understand. Since many people in that area understood sheep and shepherds, the Bible uses them as an example quite a bit.
Well, okay then. That makes sense.
Would you pray with me?
Sure.
Sheep and boys and girls, can you raise your hands and give God a clap and repeat after me? Dear God,
Dear God,
thank you
thank you
for making us part of your flock.
for making us part of your flock.
Help us
Help us
to pray for your workers
to pray for your workers
who are telling people
who are telling people
about Jesus.
about Jesus.
And help us
And help us
to become one of those workers.
to become one of those workers.
Amen.
Amen.